Nigerian Shipper Council and the Nigerian Revenue Service had opened talks with the terminal operators and shipping companies to secure duty waivers and concession for importers affected by cargo delays linked to the rollout of the National Single Window Platform. At a stakeholders meeting held on Friday, industry players gathered under the coordination of the National Single Window Committee to address mounting demurrage and detention charges caused by the disruption during the transition from legacy system operated by Standard Organization of Nigeria (SON) and the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC). Chairman of the Revenue Agency, Zach Adedeji, said engagement was aimed at appealing to operators for relief measures while the system stabilizes. He noted that the mitigation process had created temporary glitches, delaying cargo clearance and increasing costs for importers.
The essence of today's meeting is to appeal to all that are concerns, most especially as is expected, considering the magnitude of this initiative that we just launched. So there are some single window induced delay in clearing, most especially because of migration from SON, NAFDAC, and that has led to delay in clearing of cargoes that have led to demurrage, which are purely system or our initiative induced. So after our review the beginning of this week, and I now appeal to the Executive Secretary that there may be need for us to meet and appeal and request from terminal operator or those that are concerned that and shipping lines, those that are concerned, that how would they help us in this period. And we are looking at this quota. I don't know the pricing system, the charging system, and I was told that you've rendered this kind of help in the past. So while we are passing through this initial stage of stabilizing the system, so what kind of help we can receive from you?
According to him, terminal operators indicated willingness to consider waivers, and this counts on a case-by-case basis, particularly where delays can be directly linked to the system transition. He stressed that the government's priority was not revenue generation but economic growth, adding that easing the burden on port users would benefit the broader economy.
And that is our ask. It is not what I think we will conclude today, and that is why we have to come to my ears, the Shippers Council ears, that is the thing will begin possibly in 1 week. Possibly when you go back, you will know what kind of, and based on the existing law without intervening in private enterprise or the kind of agreement that we've had, that what kind of thing can be done so that we can relieve or kind of discount or extension or something based on what we have that we can extend within this quarter while the system stabilized. And that is actually our ask, because I know we delay people for 1 hour. It's not what, and I'm very sure that it's not what people can give us answers straight away, and that is why we have to come to them, that we open it, and then possibly later in 5 working days, the ES can communicate to us that this is the agreement, this is what is doable, this is what is allowable, to make sure that we get this thing done. This is just why we're here.
Broader economy. Adedeji also warned that individuals exploiting inefficiencies in the old system would be identified and dealt with, describing them as saboteurs resisting reform efforts. Providing updates on the technical issues, he expressed confidence that the delays will be resolved within days, attributing the disruption mainly to the integration challenges between old and new system during the mitigation phase.
So what we are asking for, whether when they go back to their people and they come back, they say, oh, based on their law, it's not possible, it's okay. And they have to pay demurrage, it's good for us. But we will have to do what we need to do to get to where we are going. If we are to suffer this temporary pain, so be it. So appealing for that is just out of empathy, that if things works, you want it to be like Singapore. You go and read the history of Singapore, what they have to go through before they get to where they are. Go and read the history of China, what they have to go through before they get to where they are. So this is part of what everybody must give into. It's like a sovereign of giving a bath. It's not that easy. But a few minutes after, everybody is saying, congratulations, it's baby boy, it's baby girl. And that is the situation we have. And like I've said in many fora, we've attempted this thing 6 times before now. And one of the issues is that when we get this kind of roadblock, instead of people to cooperate, we don't have that leadership to get it done, which by God's grace we have today. And that is why I make it open. It's not directive, it's not anything that we do. If by all indication, what we now find out is that, oh, demo cannot be done, whatever, anybody that is concerned, we have to go and pay, and then we go on. And one thing I can tell you that at the end of the tunnel, there are lights. One thing I can tell you is that in few days, this thing will be a thing of the past. And we will count those that are in our support when we need them. And those that are not, we will know who they are. So it's not anything. When government has decided, we will go through what we need to do. So I continue the appeal. The stakeholder will continue. And it's just to let you know that we understand and we know the problem. And our aim is just to make it easier. Not only for importer, even for ship owners, for terminal operators, for all the rest, because it is in their betterment that is better for us, which I used to say. When you talk about this regulator and as a revenue collecting agency, it is only when you make money that I can collect. So I cannot tax your loss. I can't tax your seed. So the only way to increase revenue is to make sure you do well, whether as importer, whether as exporter, whether as terminal or shipping line. So the essence of why you see revenue doing this is because I want to remove all those problems, including manufacturer, that if the cost of production is lower, they will have more profit, they have more tax, so I can collect more money. So I need you more than what you think you need me. Because your survivor, my survivor, actually depend 100% on your survivor. And that is why we are here. So, and I hope that these people I'm seeing in this window, in this room, we are on the same page. As much as I don't want you to close down your company, I don't want you to make loss because it comes back to me. I just want us to work together as a one team to resolve all these issues as we cross them. We will resolve this. We will get to many other ones. We will resolve them. So the issue is that we are just one looking for a solution to make sure that trade environment is competitive enough to attract more business and to retain the one that we have.
According to the Executive Secretary of the Shippers Council, Pius Akota, said the meeting followed the official launch of the platform on March 27th and was necessary to address emerging operational challenges. He added that efforts were on the way to modernize the Council's legal framework with a new regulatory bill nearing passage at the National Assembly.
This stakeholders engagement is called at the instance of the National Single Window. You are all aware of the launch on the 27th of March this year when it came up live. We all have been waiting for this, this time, and it has come, it's here with us now. I think it's one development in the industry that has given a lot of us joy. We now know that things are taking shape, gradually taking shape, and it's for the benefit of all of us.
The chairperson of the Shipping Association of Nigeria, Boma Alabi, said shipping firms were open to supporting importers, noting that delays also affected their operation and costs.
Of course, this is one of the series of engagements we have had. Some of you might have attended the other ones, but this is just one of the series we have had with the National Single Window team towards the implementation of the National Single Window. So this is just one of them. Because as we continue, we engage, and we need to seek your support and your cooperation to ensure the full implementation and the timely implementation of this project.
We want a single window. We want efficiency. We want to reduce costs. From the perspective of business, that's the best way to work. We want our ports to be like Singapore. These same vessels call in those ports, and they turn around and leave in hours. That's what we want to achieve here. Because from the shipping line's perspective, there is no benefit in delays. We don't want to charge demurrage because it doesn't even cover the cost of the boxes. Those boxes are assets that belong to somebody else who we're leasing in order to carry cargo from point A to point B. So we're paying for those boxes. And they're charging us for every day, every hour that those boxes are in our custody. Some of that is what we pass on to the importers and exporters.
However, General Manager of PTML Terminal, Tunde Keshiro, cautioned against blanket waivers, warning that some importers deliberately exploit the system and should not benefit from
the implementation of National Single Window. We've been in active engagement with the National Single Window team, and I must commend the industry experience and the disposition of the director, because we met, and up to today we've actually been in active collaboration to support the implementation of the scheme, because for us, we know that's the right thing to do. It's a national project and it will benefit everybody. But now, everybody is not at the same level and are not, with the same level of efficiency. So we should be careful not to provide a platform that will end up rewarding inefficient, users of the platform. So I know, and I'm saying this, and I believe my colleagues are in support, that, and the ES team know this as well, that in the industry there is already a system of discount. If you have genuine issues, we have our customer complaints desk there, customer care desk. You highlight your problem, we look at it. If it's genuine, we support you.
Nigeria port sector in Dickens. Similarly, Managing Director of Lagos and Niger Shipping Agency, Todd Rivers, described the Single Window Initiative as one of the most significant reforms in Nigeria's port sector in Dickens. The chairman of the NSW committee, Tola Fakolade, reassured stakeholders that the situation at the ports remained under control, emphasizing ongoing efforts to align all service providers and minimize the impact of the transition. The talks marked a critical step in managing the short-term disruption caused by the single window rollout, as authorities and industry players work to balance reforms with operational stability.
We will not get there. So this is a proactive engagement, and it's part of the reason why we phased rollout. Like I mentioned, we are phasing for the manifest that is part of our first phase. We actually agreed that let's do it gradually. We've met with some shipping lines. Said, okay, you know what? Instead of doing all shipping lines, let's do it gradually. And part of that is so that we don't get the situation where we have an issue and then clearing is grounded. So I just want, for records, we are not where we are still. Thank you.
My name is Geraldine Anyan, reporting for Nagaf Cargo Watch. For more interesting stories from the maritime sector, like, comment, share, and do not forget to subscribe.